Listen, I'm still trying to get used to my phone, but I'm not allowing it to stop me because I came from being an Android girl to an iPhone. And the reason I bought the iPhone for business purposes and for it to come on here to speak with you all, the chosen ones, the responsibility channel. Okay, so listen, chosen ones, this is what I wanted to come talk to you about. And you see my title, and I wanted to come. I had to stop to this park. It's beautiful over here. I love coming to the park. I came over here to color and just to be. Hi, Jacqueline. I came over here to be, with myself and just my quiet time. I hung out with a friend earlier for lunch. Hey, keeping it simple with Ariel. Look what I went to buy, you all. I went to buy coloring books. I don't know if any of you like to color. It seems elementary and childish, but I'm always tapping into my inner child. I was trying to do a separate video talking about tapping back into your inner child when I was younger. Most of the chosen ones, you guys are very creative. You are creatives, and that's why I'm here to help you all and let you all know that there is something different about you. I want you to understand and accept the fact that there is something different about you. You have to embrace that. But most of the chosen ones are very creative. Most of God's chosen ones, let me just specify what chosen ones I'm talking about. But most of God's chosen ones are very creative. And that's why you like to do creative things. That's why you really don't know what you want to do. You really don't know what you want to do sometimes, because you could do so many things. But I bought these coloring books. I bought this coloring book, and it's the large print, right? I bought that. The activities are in there. I bought me some crayons. I bought me some markers, and I have me some, I want to say I have colored pencils oh yes, I have colored pencils. So I came out here to just be in my thoughts and create a little bit, plus do this video. I wanted to do this video as well. But I wanted to talk to you all. Oh, and I got this. My grandmother used to love doing these books. Thank you, tonight. My grandmother used to love doing word puzzles. She didn't know how to read, so she used to love doing word searches. And she used to, every time I used to, for her birthday or holidays, when I was younger, I used to stop by like Family Dollar and pick her up a book. So she had plenty of these books. She loved crossword puzzles and candles. And come to think of it, she used to love candles. I like candles too. So I don't know, maybe I got that from her. I don't know. But she used to love these crossword puzzle books. But I used to get her these. I used to be buying gifts. Look, barely had money, but I used to buy gifts. I've been a gift giver all my life. I've been the one that you're going to get a gift from me. Okay? I don't show up to people's parties without gifts. Don't invite me anywhere to a birthday party. If I can't afford a gift, I just won't come. I have to have a gift. I've been that way. But anyway, chosen ones, I wanted to come talk to you all. It was exactly 3:33 when I got through saying that message. I've been seeing those numbers, 3:33, 2:22, 1:11. I've been seeing 12:12, now 10:10 a lot. I've been seeing my birthday, 7:11. I've been seeing 12:22 a lot. Just all these numbers. I know they're prophetic numbers. We don't do angel numbers over here, okay? We're not in the demonic stuff, okay? But I know God is speaking to his chosen ones. But anywho, I wanted to come and talk to you all to let you know the reason you can't grow is because your environment, okay? Your environment. This can be a family environment. This can be in your home. This could be at work. This could be at church, unfortunately. But wherever you're in an environment, right? This is why you can't grow. Your environment is not conducive to your growth. It's not helpful, right? Your environment is not a safe place where you could flourish or flourish. I'm Southern, so that R gonna have to slip out of there. So your environment is not created in a way where you could focus on your growth. You can tap into your creativity. You could become who it is that God is calling you to become. Your environment is not cultivated for you. Some of you all are in some toxic environments, and you have to remove yourself from these environments in order to grow and to reach and to cross over, okay, into the promised land. Because we over here, hashtag fat grapes, over here, that's all we talk about. Crossing over into the promised land. That means we're going to receive everything that God promised us. It doesn't have to do anything with money, material possessions. It's healing. It's spiritual healing. It's growth. It's wealth. It's good relationships, thriving marriages. That's the promised land. Thriving relationships with your children. That's what the fat grapes are. Representation of the promises. We don't have to always be talking about the struggles, the good by and by, and all that foolishness. We want to experience the promised land here and now, as it is in heaven, on earth as it is in heaven. Isn't that what the prayer said? On earth as it is in heaven. So we want to experience that. And the reason some of the chosen ones, it's hard for us to cross over. It's hard for us to gain and grow because of our environment. We don't want, it's so hard for us to let go. We don't know how to separate ourselves. I struggled with that for years. When I tell you all years, I struggled with that. Because although we can separate ourselves physically, physically, naturally, you can move across the state. And some of y'all are still bound mentally and emotionally. You have to be able to separate yourself emotionally. You have to be able to separate yourself physically. You have to separate yourself completely and be ye separated. Yes, you do. And we don't know how to do that because it's hard. The Lord had to show me. He had to show me how to separate myself. Hey, Keisha. Hey, Tarenia. Michelle. He had to separate me. Show me how to be ye separated. And it wasn't easy. But now that I'm separated, now that I understand what he was trying to do. I understand what he was trying to do. I understand why he was trying to do it, but I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I want to do it my way. I want to do my thing. It's how I felt it should go. I didn't want to go through the hard way. Nope. But that's why some of the chosen ones cannot grow. Hello, Aset, Queen. That's why we can't grow. Our environment. So I'm challenging you, the chosen ones, today. I'm challenging you to check your environment out. Scan through your work environment. Some of y'all should have been left them jobs. So toxic. You get sick getting up. I was like that on a job one time. I was getting sick. My legs couldn't even move. Couldn't even move one time. I'm trying to walk and my legs didn't want to move at all. I knew something was going on, but me in my head, I just wanted to do things my way. If you're not happy about what you're doing in your career, it's not for you. If you don't enjoy it, that's not for you because it's making you sick. You can't be your happy self. You are allowing a job, a manager. Okay, you're allowing a job, a manager, stress you out. You are allowing them to tell you how valuable you are not because the chosen ones are valuable. We bring all the value. We are the table. When they say, what you bring to the table, the table. We the table. No matter where we go, we are valuable. We add. We're an asset. We're not a liability. We're so much of an asset, we don't have to bring nothing in the physical. We don't have to bring anything materially. This is how much of an asset we are. But spiritually, we bring everything. We bring the favor. People started getting blessed when they connect with us. Everything go all the way up. And what they say in the word, I be trying to keep up with the little lingo sometimes. You ain't got to bring nothing physical. Spiritually, you are the asset, because when you step on the scenes as the chosen one, the material is going to manifest, because everything happens in the spiritual first. I'd rather have a person with spiritual gifts than the person that got all the material. I can see everything. I'd rather have someone who's spiritually gifted over somebody who got it already naturally and I can see it. Because if they spiritually gifted, we're going to get it. We can get it again. Hey, Nancy Wilson, welcome from Fort Worth, Texas. Yes, Jacqueline, I'm telling you, we got to be obedient. I know it's scary in this season because God is talking to a lot of his chosen ones, and we have to yield to his voice. And I know it's crazy because religion taught us we got to be doing all this hooping and hollering and going to church Monday through Sunday, and nothing is changing. But God is calling some of us out of the environments, and this is including the church. Don't twist my words and say I'm speaking against the church, because I still attend church. I'm under the leadership of someone. I'm not saying it, but I still got to come speak truth. And that's another reason God separated me, because whenever he give me a message to speak, I need to be willing to speak it and not feel like I'm speaking against something or speaking against somebody. That's why he separated me. I understand now. He don't want nobody holding me back. He don't want me feeling bad, because he know he know me. He know Monique. He know Monique consider everything, everybody. If I say this, if I say that, he know me. He know me like a book. Like we say, I know her like a book. Yeah, he know me like a book. Yes, he created me. He know me. He know I'll consider and I'll think about, if I say this may hurt that person's feelings, or they may think I'm talking about them, or if I say this and I am talking about them, he didn't want me to be worried about none of that. He didn't want me to be worried about none of that. I got you, Michelle. I understand, dear. He didn't want me to worry about none of that. Any of it. None of it. But as I was saying, he's even calling some of you all from out of the church buildings, your environments. That's an environment too. Because he's trying to do a work in you. This is why you have to have a relationship with God, so you can listen to what he's telling you. Because some of y'all can't listen to what God is saying because you feel like if you listen to God over your pastor, you being disobedient. And it's the other way around. Excuse me. It's the other way around. You're being disobedient because you're not listening to God, and you are listening to your pastor. I'm like, I love you, pastor, but let me take this to God. Let me see what God is saying to me. That's why he's trying to move some, because this is not everybody. I'm just talking about the chosen ones, the ones who he's separating, the ones who he's trying to do a work in. Right? For himself. The one he's trying to do a work in. Some of y'all are scared to leave your families out of that environment. Everybody got group think. Everybody's thinking the same. And God's trying to call the chosen one, trying to call you to think separate. Be ye separate. He's trying to remove you away from your family so you can go back and deliver them later on. But you too afraid. You don't want to go through the pain of being separated. You don't want to go through the backlash that you know that's going to come because your family thinking you're acting funny. You know, they thinking you're acting funny. You know how these families get. You can't explain to them what God is doing to you, doing through you, because they still playing around with God, and he's really transforming you. He's transforming you from the inside out. They still going to church and to the club. They still going to the club on Saturday and church on Sunday. And God is over there delivering you, chosen one, from all that foolishness. Look, he's delivering you from being double-minded so you can get your family really delivered and trusting in God and changing and renewing their mindset, renewing their mind, not just walking and being religious, saying I go to church and I've been going to church. Yes, you going to church, but you're still unhealthy. You're still unhealthy. You're still struggling in your finances. You're still not eating right, exercising. You're not doing what you need to do to take care of your temple. But you go to church every Sunday. You barely can make it to church because you're breathing so hard. He's trying to get folks to renew their minds. He's trying to get your family to renew their mind. Yes, he is. Calling some of us to change our eating habits, even me. Pot's not calling the kettle black. Just got through eating candy a minute ago. Doing things in moderation. Taking care of our temple. Yes, Michelle, it does. Because, see, that's what I'm saying. When I just got this message that your environment is not conducive, it just means your environment is not helping you. And when you're around certain people and in certain environments, you can't flourish because you feel stuck. That's why when people are in toxic relationships and toxic marriages that are not ordained by God, relationships that are not ordained, that's why the person could never grow and flourish. But as soon as they separate themselves from that relationship, they thrive. It's like they skyrocket because the environment was not good for them. And that can be on both ends. I'm not just saying as if God can't do a work in the other people too. Hello, it's Moyle. I'm not saying that he can't do the work in other folks too. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is sometimes you got to be separated. You chosen one, you probably a hindrance to people. You're probably hindering people because you're being the God in their life that God needs to be in their life. You protecting a lot of people from getting their karma. You are protecting a lot of people from hitting their rock bottom. you're in the way of what God needs to do in other folks. You're in the way because people need to experience rock bottom so they don't have no other way but to look up to God. But you in folks' way, chosen ones, because you know we got this little, we do, let's tell the truth, shame the devil, we do got a God complex because sometimes, let me tell you, because we know that we are anointed, we know that we chosen, but you can't be God in people's lives. Yes, he gave you an anointing. Yes, you have authority. Yes, you have the power, but you got to know when to move out of the way. You have to know when to not play God, because we don't do it intentionally. Let me say this. We don't do it intentionally. We do it because we don't want people hurting. We don't want people hurting, chosen ones. So how do you think you get that power you got? You didn't just get it by skating on through life. You didn't skate through life to get that anointing. I'm sorry, chosen one. You didn't skate through life. You had to pay for that. You done went through some pain. And see, that's what we try to do. We try to stop people from feeling the pain we felt. Because we feel like we the only one can handle that type of pain. No, we got to let people go through their stuff. Go through their stuff. We got to let them go through it. You got to move out of the way. Move on out of the way, chosen ones, because you're sparing too many people. You sparing that child of yours. Yes, you are. You sparing that child of yours. Move out of the way now so he or she can learn the lesson before you check up out of here. And then they're going to catch it harder when you're not here. So you just move on out of the way so they can learn now. And you can cover them in prayer while they're going through. You just move on out of the way. Let them fall on down. Let them go through their go-through. Let them go through their journey. Let them go through. Stop being a cushion. A natural cushion. Just be the spiritual cushion. Just pray. While they going through their stuff, just pray. Pray for them. Believe that God is going to deliver that child. You got to believe it. You got to trust the God you say you believe in. But move on out of the way. Move. So that child can experience what they need to experience. Yes, Keisha McNeil. We forget that. God had been dealing with me. He been dealing with me about this. Them children do stuff behind your back and they do stuff you don't tell them to get into. They're going to have to reap that. And they're going to have to learn their lesson. They're going to have to learn too. But you just pray for them, ask God to cover them, and ask God to help them to learn their lesson, to repent and not repeat that again. But they are going to reap what they have sown. And so many of these children, unfortunately, are losing their lives because they're not being obedient to their parents. And leaving the parents heartbroken. But they're losing their lives because they're not being obedient to their parents. They're not respecting their parents. They're not honoring their parents. And they're being snatched away so young. You don't have to like what your parents are saying. You don't have to like it. They don't have to like it. But respect them. Be obedient. This is not for the abusive parents now. I ain't talking about the ones abusing children now. God gonna deal with them a different way. But the ones who just want the best and the children just don't want to listen. They're shortening their days and they don't even realize it. That's in the word of God. That's biblical. That's law. You can't erase that. I didn't make that up. So ask God to reveal to you, the chosen ones, the process to get out of the environment that you're in. And it's hard. Everyone don't have the resources to get from out of their environment. Everyone don't have a plan. Everyone just can't get up and leave. But what we can do is ask God to reveal to us You're welcome, Maya. Everyone, it's just the truth. It's just the truth. That's why I'm out here in the park. That's why I'm separated. Look, that's why I'm out of my environment. Because he wanted me to be able to speak the truth without holding back. Even when, see, the thing is, people just think certain folks get on here and they're just talking heads. No, because when I'm released to speak my own truth, I have to be obedient to that too. When I have to be vulnerable, I'm gonna have to do that too. But pray and ask God to give you strategy. The word said we have not because we ask not. We really have to open our mouth and ask God. Ask him for a way out if you want to get out. If you want to change your environment. Now, when he give you a way out, don't say you don't like that way. You got to be obedient. Because his way out is not going to be what's comfortable. It's not going to be convenient. Because in being inconvenienced, there is a lesson in that. There is a lesson in that. The process is where the lessons are. But we want to skip the process. You can't go from the pit to the palace unless you've been through lies, unless you've been through betrayal, unless your family tried to kill you, unless your siblings tried to kill you, unless your own relatives tried to hate you, Joseph. You can't go from the pit to the palace unscathed. The process in between, the process on the way to the palace refined Joseph. He didn't just go straight from the bottom to the top. Now I'm here. He didn't go from the bottom to the top just like that. No, there was a process. And that's what we don't want to experience. We don't want to experience the process. We look at other folks and see that they're on the mountaintop, but we didn't see the valley. We didn't see the valley. We just see them on the mountaintop. Some of y'all looking at me like, like, where did she come from? I just popped up and arrived overnight. No. I've been going through this since I was 5 years old. I'm 43 years old. I've been in the valley a long time. Still in the valley. I'm not on no mountain. Oh, let me clarify. Okay? I'm not on the mountaintop yet. Still in the valley. But I had to be obedient. I can't let my valley moment stop me from being obedient because it's part of the process. Yes, part of the process. And I understand it now. And then, it wasn't until I switched my perspective that I really started accepting everything. And I was really able to forgive people and feel sorry for them. It's a spiritual thing. You can't do this in the natural. I feel sorry for people you know, who used to lie on me, come up with all kind of outlandish stories and stuff. I can't help but feel sorry for them now, because I understand the process. The process. This is part of it. People lying on you. You going through the worst betrayals. Family teaming up against you, coming up against you, calling you crazy. You the crazy one out of all the drunks and the weed heads in the family. You the crazy one. Hello, ain't nothing but the devil. Out of all the drunks and the weed heads and the crackheads and the all the all them ones. But you sober minded, but you the crazy one. All the gossipers and slanderers and all that in the family. But little old you who trying to just do right, they deem you crazy. Look, isn't that something, chosen one? But like they said, like the word said, in the last days, right will be called wrong and wrong will be called right. So you got to be ready for this type of stuff. You got to be prepared. You got to prepare. And that's what God is doing with the chosen ones. He's preparing you for this world that's flipped upside down. Only thing you trying to do is walk out and do right. But you the crazy one. You the crazy one. You know your identity. You know you a girl. You know you a boy. You know you a man. You know you a woman. But it's the confused ones that don't know who they are. But you the crazy one. Because you know you got ovaries. You know you got ovaries, but you crazy. Even if you don't know you got ovaries and you got a prostate, but you feel like you want to have ovaries, you know you need to rebuke that thought because you know it's not of God. You the crazy one. Because you know something's not right. Something's not right. And you rebuking that. You say, you know what, I have to go to God. This thought is not of God. But you the crazy one because you are aware that you shouldn't be having certain thoughts in your mind. But you the crazy one. They gonna call you crazy. You the crazy one. Because you vocal and you gonna speak up. This is why he's moving y'all from out of environments. This is why. Miss E, I'm glad I don't, dear. There was one time I felt like I was 83. I felt like I was an old woman, to be honest. At one time in my life. I think I had a midlife crisis around 30. I did. I felt like it because I had been through so much in my life. And I had just had my son. I don't know if I was going through postpartum or what. But I just felt like I didn't live. I was just so distraught at one point. Around about 31. That's when God started taking me. He been taking me on my journey. but I was just still battling with different things because I grew up quick. I had to grow up. I grew up, fast. That's why I wanted my daughters. I wanted them to be children. I wanted them to be teenagers. I didn't want to put too much on them when they were teenagers as far as responsibility and certain things that I had to do. But that's why God is moving some of you out of your environment, because he want to renew your mind. Some of us, our minds need to be renewed, and you can't renew your mind around your family. Jacqueline, now you still should have cooked them a steak now, Jacqueline. Now you should have cooked that man a steak now. You should have cooked him a steak. Now, I understand though, but you should have cooked him that steak. You got to cook him that steak. I know they can make you mad sometimes. Hey, Greta Lee, where have you been? I haven't seen you on here in a while. But that's why God is moving y'all from your environment, because He's renewing the minds of the chosen ones. He is renewing the minds of the chosen ones. And you'll know if you're chosen. I'm gonna give you a few tips, a few ways you can know you're chosen. One, you came out the gate. When I say the gate, out of your mama's womb. You came out the birth canal with issues. The enemy didn't give you a chance to get in life. You couldn't even make it in the world where he was, because he was trying to snatch you up in respiratory, issues. Yeah, some of y'all were premature. Some of y'all were abused. As far as you can remember, people verbally abusing you, physically abusing you, your family making you feel like you're an outcast. Okay. These are some ways to know you're chosen. You went through the most horrific experiences in your childhood, because the enemy come attack you in your childhood. He don't wait till you get grown. That's not what he do. He don't wait. He try to get you in your most vulnerable state, and that's as a child. That's why some of y'all were called ugly, and some of y'all were called bald-headed and ugly and fat and all kind of names. This is the reason why. Some of y'all family members, aunties, grandmothers treated everybody else nice, but they mistreated. Some of y'all own family, mothers and fathers, treated all the other siblings nice and good and gave them stuff, but you had to work for everything. You worked for everything. Everybody else was given stuff. But that wasn't a curse. You thought it was a curse at the time. This for somebody. Somebody, your mom made you work for everything you got. Your parents made you work for everything, and you thought it was a curse. It wasn't a curse. They were blessing you, because you don't appreciate stuff unless you work for it. They thought they were harming you. The enemy wanted you to take that as your parents rejecting you and not liking you and mistreating you. But that built you. That gave you character. You gained character and wisdom and understanding, money management. And the ones that they gave stuff, they don't know how to manage a grape. The ones that were given everything, they're around here losing their minds. Not saying you glorifying in that, but what I'm saying is what they thought was going to hurt you actually made you better. Made you better, made you stronger and wiser, taught you how to manage money, taught you how to do with with things, taught you how to do without things, taught you what was essential, what was a need, and what was a want. Okay? I need a roof over my head. Okay? But I want to go on that trip, but I don't have to go on that trip right now because I need this roof over my head, so I need to pay my rent. It wasn't a bad thing. And it's for a lot of the chosen ones. Stop beating yourself up because you didn't have certain things in childhood. You didn't have this or what the other children had. It's not the end of the world. You had the things you needed. I didn't grow up having all those things. I was kind of spoiled on my dad's side. Yes, I was. I was spoiled on my dad's side. My mom's side, I wasn't spoiled. But on my dad's side, I was spoiled. On my mom's side of the family, I wasn't. My dad's side, I was like a princess. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I ain't going to lie on that side. That's why I used to like going over there, too. I was treated a lot better. On my dad's side, I don't think... I had one cousin, my boy cousin. We talk about it to this day. He used to be so mad because my aunt used to spoil me. His mom. Well, she's deceased now. She used to spoil me. He used to hate me for that because when I came around, I was the only niece. So when I came around, she did everything. I got everything. She was the one pierced my ears for me. I got my ears pierced on my 10th birthday. And she bought me a birthstone, some birthstone earrings. I had a birthstone ring, pinky ring, that I got from the jewelry store in that community. And then she had my hair done. Got me some Jerry curls. Remember the Jerry curls? I had some fat old Jerry curls. She got my hair done. And you couldn't tell me nothing. You didn't tell me I was cute. You couldn't tell me I was cute. I was cute. Okay? She had brought me this little cute outfit. But I was spoiled on my dad's side. I was too spoiled. So that's how I know that with the chosen ones, you're going to go through certain things. Oh, I did, Greta. I did. I'm not gonna lie. Although my dad, although my family wasn't rich on that side, I was treated a whole lot different on my dad's side than my mom's side. I was. Yep. I was treated very different. I said I was going to write a book, Black Sheep by Day, Princess by Night. Oh, my kids be laughing at me. Yeah, my kids be laughing at me. But I was treated very different. Still to this day, I was treated very different. On my dad's side, like, everybody's so chill. They live their life, right? They live their, on my dad's side, they do what they do. You know what I'm saying? They live their life. I don't judge people for how they live their life. But there's always been that love. There's always been that genuine love. I cannot see them for years and still that genuine love. There's not that when you go around certain people, it's not that tension. There's not that tension over there. There's always welcome. I always feel like I'm at home. I can't say that about nobody else. But on that side, yeah, I was spoiled. Even my cousin used to tell me how bad I used to be. We like brothers and sisters. Even to this day, he'll tell me, he was like, girl, you were bad when you were little. You were a bad little girl. Yes, but I was spoiled. I was. Now that I think of, you don't think about it until later, You don't think about it till later. I was the only niece for a long time until my aunt, I was the only niece from my dad's siblings for a long time until my older aunt had her daughter. But yeah, he's separating you all because he wants you to see. He wants you all to see, and he wants you all to grow, and he wants you to come into understanding of who you are as a chosen one. And some of you all don't know why you had to go through so much as a child, because, and you can't blame God, because the enemy knew that you were the light out of the womb. The enemy knows. The enemy knows too. And that's why he get into people. He get into your family members, your stepdads, your stepmoms, and say stuff to you, and they mistreat you and stuff. He get into these people because the enemy, he knows how to use other people to do his dirty work. He knows how to pray. He knows how to use other people, to do his dirty work. That's what he does. He know how to use people. He know how to get into their heads. Anybody who's a willing vessel, he'll use them. But you can't be mad at these people, because they're doing their father's job. Their father, the devil, they're doing their father's work. But you never had it easy. This is how you know you're a chosen one. Your life never been easy. So what do you do when your dad dies and the stepmama leaves everything for her kids, but not dad's? Oh yeah, that's evil. That's evil. She evil-hearted. She knows she should have. She knows she should have divided that stuff up rightfully. Yeah, that's being evil. Especially if you know he got other kids. If you know he got other kids. And that was another thing I was going to come talk about, but I have to do it. There's so much stuff I want to talk about, and then sometimes I be forgetting if I don't write it down. And if you know you got children, and you know you have multiple children from multiple women or multiple men, you have to get your stuff in order. Get your stuff in order. Get you a living will, or write you out a plan so people know how things should be divided. Get your life in order. Because it's just like the enemy. You don't know how people are. They change when you pass away. People been so nice to you while you were living. When you pass away, they turn into the wicked witch of the west, because that person is no longer there, and they mistreat the children, whether they're adult or younger children. Because people could say they like you, but you know it's hard for, and see, I don't care what nobody say, and you're not going to convince me otherwise. It's foolish to think. It's foolish to think that, and I'm going to get back on topic. I'm going to say this though. It's foolish to think that somebody's going to love your children like you love them, or love them at all, if they don't like you. If a person don't like the parent of the child, it is hard for you to like that child. You're not going to tell me this makes sense to y'all. This don't make sense to me. This don't make sense. There's no way in the world I'm going to trust a person who was out to harm me. Listen now. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to move on. I'm not going to trust a person who lied on me, slandered me, out to harm me. And I believe in my head and my heart, just because that person is grandma, just because they're auntie, just because they're daddy, just because they're whomever, if a person with these titles hates you as the mother, hates you as the father, there is no way they're going to love and take care of your kids when you're gone, if you got younger kids. If your kid's grown, you write that stuff out. Get yourself together, get yourself in order. But if they are younger, they ain't gonna do right by your kids. They gonna do exactly what they was trying to do to you, to your children, but in a more discreet and evil way. You hear me? This is why I don't understand how a person could hate the father of their children. Because if I hate the children of my father, that means I hate my children. Because they come from him. People say some crazy stuff and believe some crazy things. We got to stop this foolish thinking. Because if you hate the child of your father, you're hating your children. If you hate the mother of your father, the mother of your kids, you hate your children. And them kids can feel that. You can say what you want to say. It's a difference between you not liking your baby dad, your baby mama, whomever. That don't mean you hate them. Exactly, Greta. I had this person trying to convince me otherwise. No, you don't like me. You hate my guts, lady. And I'm not going to trust you with my children. I don't trust you. I don't care what nobody say. You wicked. I'm not going to trust you. Because if you hate me, you will hurt my children. And you have. And she has. The lady has. People got to stop this foolish thinking. But I'm going to ease back on into my message. The environment that you're in. Exactly, Greta. The environment that you are in is the reason some of the chosen ones can't grow. And what we have to do is have to pray and ask God to deliver us. And we have to pray. And when he give us a strategy to get out, we got to get out. We can't be trying to say it's not easy. It's not convenient. I don't like this way. That's your way out. That's your way out. And you have to get out. In order to grow, in order to excel, in order to gain your power, that's the way you have to go. Now, you can stay there, but you're going to be miserable. You're going to get sick. You're going to get sick. And the reason you're sick and you're getting sick because your body can't handle the stress. Your body can't handle the uneasiness that you're putting it through. Every morning you getting up, you go to that job. You know you hate that job. Yes, you need the money, but God is trying to tell you. That's why he's telling you to pay off your debt. So you won't become a slave to paying bills. That's why he's telling you to get rid of credit cards. Try to work on paying off your student loans. Whatever you need to do, your focus needs to be on that. Getting out of debt, paying off stuff so you won't become a slave. You won't be a slave to bills. Because most of us know. I'm going to say two things. I'm going to get off here. Because I don't want y'all report my video. I don't want y'all report my video. Half of y'all know if y'all didn't have them bills, you wouldn't be on that job. If y'all didn't have them bills, you wouldn't be in that relationship. I'm going to say this. I'm going to get off because I don't want y'all to report me. If you didn't have those bills, this is when you know. This is when you know you shouldn't be in that relationship. Right here. I'm going to say this. This is when you know you shouldn't be in a relationship. If you won the lottery today, if somebody left you a fortune or put you in their will, If somebody left you in their will and they left you with a couple of 100,000s, some of y'all even a few thousands, you'll be gone. You'll be gone. You just need enough. You just need enough for 90 days to find you another job. To pay them bills up. If you were blessed to where you had enough money, you wouldn't be in that relationship. Let's tell the truth, shame the devil. You ain't even there for love anymore. You ain't even there for love. That's when you know it's not God ordained. You know that. That job, if you didn't have them bills, if you didn't have all them bills you had, you wouldn't be on that job. You wouldn't be on that job. Matter of fact, some of y'all will take a job paying less money because you would be happier and it's something you want to do. But because you've been on that job so long and you finally making decent money, okay? You would take a job making less. But because we're so caught up in this cycle of the world, get in debt, go get this. Don't save your money to get it. Put it on credit. Pay later. We get stuck. We have to take more than we need to take on these jobs. We have to bow and agree with certain things we don't agree with. Yes, you do, Greta. You really do. That interest. That's how the economy is. They tax you. Talking to myself too. I'm learning. I'm getting out of it too. Yep. We get stuck because we got all these extra bills. And because if we didn't have all these bills, we wouldn't be going to these jobs. People talking to you in a kind of way. They know you need the job. You got these managers who's bullies on these jobs. They insecure because they got a title. They think they can bully people around. They treat you like you're a child. Right? Because they got a title. Or they part of the alphabet mafia. They got all them credentials behind their name, but their character suck. You don't need no credentials. You don't need no A, B, C, D, E, F, G after your name. You need to go develop some character. You need to develop some character. Because education don't mean that you have character. I'm eating peanuts, y'all. And when we smacking in the yeah. Develop some character. Well, that's what I want to talk to y'all about. It's the environment, honey. That environment is the reason you cannot grow. Exactly. And that boss character, look, that boss character may be better than her. Yep. It's good to have the education and the character, but to have the education without the character, that's a disaster. Because, people be filled with pride because they got the education. Education, if you're not careful, it'll puff you up above people. It'll make you puff up above people, and you'll think you better because the world says if you got your degree, you better than everybody. That's not true. That's not true. Yep, that's not true. Or maybe she needs to start her own business. Greta, yeah, maybe she needs to start her own business or find another job. Oh, that's a blessing then. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's real good. But that's why you want to get to where you have the flexibility. When 2020 hit, I told myself I need flexibility, and I want to make sure I pay off my debt, because I don't want to ever be put in a place where I'm forced to do something. Me too, Greta. Girl, listen here. We're not going to talk about student loans. We're not going to talk about it, but I'm believing God to eradicate them things for me. But if not, I got to do what I'm telling you all. I got to pay them off. Even if I have to, work my business and really go hard, I'll just have to pay it off. And they could pay for that on their own, Greta. I think they say that out of fear for health care only. They have private plans you can pay. That'll be even cheaper. Look, it'll be cheaper than what you're paying on your job. But I think people just are afraid because we've been told that for so long, and we've been basically duped to where we were put in a position for others, like our employers, right? Like our employers to do more of what we should be doing for ourselves. You'll be able to do it if you don't have any and that's another thing. That's what I was saying especially with your health, taking care of your health. If you don't have any pre-existing conditions, you'll be okay. Mm-hmm. Look, we can eradicate that too. Just got to start eating healthy. You can get rid of high blood pressure. That don't have to be permanent. Just change your eating habits. Everything could be reversed. That's what I'm saying. Just because you're skinny, that don't mean you're healthy. Yeah, you got to change your eating habits. I'm working on that. That's the hardest thing. That is the hardest thing. But I'm going to stop saying that, but I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Yeah, it's what we put in our bodies, not how thin we are. Because I have a cousin who's athletic and he's diabetic. Athletic, abs and all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't go by how thin you are. Or slim. That's what just because a person is slim don't mean they're healthy. Just because they're not overweight. Let's just say that. If they're not overweight, what the world considers overweight, though, doesn't mean that they're not, that they're healthy. Mm-hmm. But yes, you are. That's what I wanted to come. I was just reading the message, talk to you all about, You can't grow because of your environment. You have to change your environment. You have to get from around your environment so you can grow, so God can do his best work in you. But I'm going to sit here and color a little bit in my coloring book. I had bought these coloring books I showed in the beginning. And I have me some peanuts, me some little snacks. But I'm going to sit right here and color in my coloring books. And do my crossword puzzle, listen to me some music. Oh, me too, Greta. Listen, I'm rebuking that, though. I'm going to rebuke that for me. It is, because I went to the store earlier. That's what I said in the beginning of the video. I got some, but sugar so much in everything. Even when I went on me like a 30-day sugar fast, I thought I was going. I was looking at all the food and like the juices and stuff. I'm like, ketchup, everything got sugar in it. But I went to the store earlier and got these little gums. And I'm sure they're full of sugar. Let me see. Let's see where they got sugar. Saturated carbohydrates, 4 grams. I got these little gums here. And they got sugar in them. And then I bought some canned. I'm like, I'm going to do better. I'm working on it, though. I'm not as bad as I used to be. Because it wasn't nothing for me to eat what them things called? Mr. Good Bar and a Snickers. It wasn't nothing for me to eat one every day. I had to pray, Lord, deliver me from that addiction. That was an addiction. Then I used to put my Snickers in the freezer, let them get a little hard. And I eat the back off them first. I had a little strategy, you know. Look, I used to eat the back off after they sat in the freezer, that little part on the back. And I used to bite that off first. Then I used to eat my Snickers. I had to stop that foolishness. I used to do that a lot. Then some salt and vinegar chips. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing for me to. But I've gotten better. I don't do all that now. I've come a long way. I'm proud of myself. Look, I'm proud of myself. You got to be proud of yourself of the baby steps. I done missed the good bars. Used to get me all the time. Used to get me all the time. All set, Queen? Yes, I do, dear. I'll be opening back up my sessions. You know, I went on this rest. God put me on. He put me in time out. He put me on a spiritual rest where I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't work. I couldn't do nothing. And I think he's going to release me August because I've been talking about opening my coaching sessions back up, and my spirit just been like, not right now. But August, I should be ready, hopefully. Listen, hopefully he released me. Hopefully. Because I do miss it. I do miss coaching. But I have been working on a few projects in the meantime. But I just can't do coaching. I couldn't do my regular job. I was just in resting. And you know, he has a lot of chosen ones. It's not just me. I've been listening to quite a few people on YouTube who I follow. And I've been hearing the same confirmation. He's been putting the chosen ones in rest. Because I know when he released the chosen ones, he's going to come back full force. Full force. But I know it's going to be soon. It should be August. Yep, August. So we'll see. But I really do miss it. I really do miss it. But you all, it was nice talking to you all. Let me get on in here, finish my coloring my coloring book and sit here in the park and listen to the birds chirp. It was raining earlier, so that's why I stopped here to do the video. So hopefully it's not wet. I can go out. I wonder, do I still have my towel in the trunk? I think I don't have my towel, but I have paper towels, so I may just go and sit and color and watch the water. But it's beautiful over here at this little park. Not always come here. I I come here, I'm gonna say often. I say every blue moon. Now this is really not my park that I usually come to, but it's closer to my area. Closer to my area. But you all take care. Thank you for stopping in with me. You all be blessed, okay?